the late Safo Kantanka, emeritus doctor, the titles name in Nadia will be the legendary, passed on some few months ago. That was somewhere last year, and out of that, as a year druso. But some people, I don't know, but for some funny reason, are predicting some rift, some beef, some maintain be here and there. And I don't know where that is coming from. Today, Honorable Adwasafo and the family held a press conference announcing the burial or the funeral date of the late Safo Kantanka, emeritus professor and apostle. Yes. A man for be bizarre question because there is a certain introduction here. Honorable Adwasafo concerning her introducing the family and everything, and out of that, and no, and ama for a bizarre certain kind of questions be. So even on the flyer, there is what they call the dossier, which is mostly done for royals, and now some for moya henfo, and as we know the man to be, obviously, or your hene, and this will be done at the Apostle Safo director body no make kakra na me hu we dey fache me. Okay, no, I'm talking about the date, the one there. Okay, thank you. Apostle Safo Swaye Gumwa Mpota Central Region. Okay, I think say more kind so on. And the final funeral rite will also happen on 31st July 2026. That is 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Independence Square, Greater Accra Region. So the dossier will be done on the 30th of July, and the final funeral rite will be done on the 31st. Since I have Chemo here, Chemo is going to give us the in-depth explanation into the dossier as well as the final funeral rite, and of course, the Thanksgiving service will also be done in Kumasi, and that is also yet to be confirmed. In fact, they cited the date of 8th August. This will go into history as one of the funerals, the first funeral to be done in 3 different regions. The first one will happen in the Central Region. The second one will happen in the Greater Accra Region, as well as the Thanksgiving in Kumasi, which is yet to be confirmed. And Chemo is going to give us. But then, let's go and watch some bits and pieces of some of the happenings at the press conference. When we come back, there are some questions that I really want to ask my people, and some explanation I know they have the answers for me. Let's watch these videos. We'll be right back.
I'm paying for Sofo Johnson, and I said Sophie Safo, and Sofo Abna Safo, I saw paying for 2 months, Sofo Pastanya Kumoha, Papa Ebusia, Nena Ebusia, ya Papa Mwen, ne Mame, near friend Mame, Akusia Amweni man, Ebusia Amoaha, Ayaguna Busia mu pretense, the choir Santi region Amoaha. Papa Ebusia Mufri Esumenya Monso Moaha. Papa Adolfo when you penny for your hangina, and they see our ha, assembly at our minimum and then waha. Na near Tianisa Papa Busia Yakoto Busia, Papa Tias or Metias Busiano, a Busia Mutrepa, a Diana Busian Mutre. Intinia Dikai. Yet the Debbie Betua Bonting, and you fought the Debbie Betua Bontiana 25th of June. Sankasa Dano near Kurayeja. Near Mum, your Papa Nebusian, a biwa Chad, a biwa Cameroon, a biwa Viasia Fananina. Ne Mube here say, a beton Sanomunina Swayamboa, Ediaba, or my baby, or my Bekayan one on my bejayin. No more so this year at that form, or more so Eximia Buania Kraniti Naife. Omuma ye asote ye se edane bimbe ho ma wo mo ebe ma o ma ho boa no ma kwantuo no anhwa na omu nyina ntimi ama meduru no abusua emma eni aso mpanyimfo se ahia eni ye se ye betwi eda no e de akọ the 30th of July na aboa ama yenuanom na ye papa te ase nyina no wo bodwa a ofre wo mu nyina so wo mu nyina ka na busua ho omo nso atimi aba na yaye na ye kama nti ene megina ne nuanom mo nyina na mu hye Ghana fo nyina se eda ye de bekura ye papa aye de ye papa beto ho wo gomwa mpota ye 30th of July ye be ye wo no na so ye wo gomwa mpota yes myself Adjoa Safo. I have directly after me is Ruth Adjoa Safo. After her is Rebecca Adjoa Safo. After her is Abraham Yao Safo. And then we have Joshibed Adjoa Safo, which is the last of the girls. And then the last baby boy, Obed Kojo Safo.
So ya sorry penyen when you baby and now you busuani ebe gina o kasem bia e hrodogura da sem ma wo bia ntie no gise wate afri aduana kotoko royal family ewo sumunya ebusua penyini owura nyantachi adumako enum ansana waje asem na tum yedamase eburu Mesremu aburu ye nyina ye twahia ha ye yabusua ye panyini pa ne otumfo wo se tutu a otoso mienu ono na ama ye kwan a ye digina ha ema ye kasei edise mekana nanom na ma amo ne din a na nkire se mayi na firimu enye wono a akame a mekasei kamenyina ha ono na ama ye saa kwan emi ye digina ha edi edai eto Ghana manyina enim medamase pepa cho ye besie no ewo empota baby a gomwa mpota baby a oye ne fidi duma no eho ana ye besie aye saa eda etoso aduonunum ayo homobo busumi imu so ya sorry penyen when you baby
So just as the Honorable Adjoa Safo said, an initial date was announced, which was around 25th of June. And we all saw another communique that came from another side stating a different date. People started asking questions, say, how come a funeral of this magnitude is having two different dates? And now Manful Bisa, are we going to have that Ilumba part 2? But looks like Sisia no calm is being restored one way or the other. But then people are asking questions. What is the difference between what the Busuapeni is saying and what the children are saying? And how come that all these press conferences are happening without Kojo Safo Jr., doctor, being there? Or what is the conversation like? But then, I mean, coach Chemo, Hona mean coach explanation. Chemo, where the I was say free dotier from the dotier into the matters arising, so that at least we will be able to understand why there is a dotier which will be happening on the 30th and the final funeral rites which will be happening on the 31st as well.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah. Before I do that explanation, Mami Chiremu said, any particular and I said any part or what don't be who I deal with a common, especially in a kind setting because a year you are a big deal now as and for that ye ja the one net cracker. And now ye there's a belief that because who will be a chia, I'm an alcohol, the next stage of the person's life. Ye need say, who assassination and one. Ye did say, or call baby for now, so my for now, question. how good are mobile Jan Kwan Wahano and or better receive that goodness wherever the person is going.
Okay.
And you know, a year a big deal, our sentiment, and I'm person maker. Okay, so Dr. Yen and yet Bibi, if you are answer, what's your word now? If you are being a Bibi back. Mawadinimra the word dotino so dotino means netie and answer ye to form an abibi that the earth that dotino and you know you can say dotty here the day na ye ko see no the day na ye ko see nipa no na ya tena se kakra se ase ye yi and you ko see ni ba ye betena se and I ever for me Dr. Yin because we are doing that funeral gathering on the same day that we are burying the person.
Okay.
That's the Dr. Yin because there are some people are almost bigger. What happens most of the time, they say, you could see no. And then later, I have a year proper.
Okay.
If you are kind of, it take years, and I say it take months after burying the person. When you bury the person, they will just come and sit at the maybe at the family house of the dead person.
Okay.
Then with time, they will announce another date for the bigger funeral. Another the funeral proper.
Okay.
So when it happens like that, not just as in they didn't bury the person and then sit down for the funeral to continue.
Okay.
But when there's a big man like Apostle Kojo Safwa, they can do both. Anything yes are two announcements.
Okay.
So they will do the dirty all right, but there will be another funeral after the dirty.
Okay.
Anything on the announcement one. The dirty will happen. But they think that he's big for them to just do it at one place is not enough. And you know, after the dirty that they think that not everybody may be able to come there, they will go ahead and do it at other places. Or maybe they say any probably any probably or muntimima akra deni.
Okay.
Almost over side and you know, almost announcement. But I agree with you. And some SSL.
I see.
Also, two announcements nearby a different. It's not surprising. So,
okay.
Because the first thing, Prana, and say, why are they doing separate press conference and another announcement? Why? And no chance and again. Kojo Safo Junior. Will play significant part in the projection of the man's legacy.
True.
Say time and papa ni tiase no. Now on no na ye aduma or no na call e kan ni nsem ni adabe. Enti say an announcement. Not only baby abusafo immediate family do na what there not just asemo but then bia na enkofu bi nso so enya aware say Apostle Kojo Safo na yire nya ba akopɛ akosua adwasafo adwasafo eni ni nuanom no omo maame is different from Kojo Safo Junior ketwa no ono nso so eni ne maame wo ho enti no that difference no ho ebia ebinum ebeyom say bi omu nyina ye one mother yes I net Kojo Safo maame is different from adwasafo ni nuanom.
Okay. Now, Chemo, what will be your reaction if when you hear the family secretary saying that till this time announcement nearby no Sammy, they don't even know where the mortal remains of the deceased Apostle Kojo Safo body no edda. What will be your comment on it? Will you be surprised? And I said, more impression.
Someone can obeka no abontimpo but oka na oka me hu say indeed asem ho anything obeka sa because say family secretary say unim baby at the mortal remains no wa beside nipa we did say onim baby e wo na oba be kana bonten no can say nyende just to register the fact say there are issues
okay
tenka dey ayonim say obi na dey emunu ekọ mortuary and as a family you know exactly who did that. Yes. And you may not know exactly where it is, but you can ask the person who took it there or who took it to wherever. And it's a well, Musa, not all the Betuja said, as at now, you don't even know where the mortar remains in the world. You are just telling us that there are issues. And the issues there means immediately say, yeah, I'm sure you are. Sir, Bibi sa Babon, and Ubeti are not caught to the actually. Obeti ana court to be actually. Say one ran kofu bi be ka say omode hye na kofu bi aye ene daddy lumba issue no ebe kwa akose ya re ya yebenya bibi sa.
Okay, chemo me da say Mr. About so mama nko Kobe just van hoy. Kobe,
bro.
Funeral announcement number.
Well, I wasn't surprised near maybe say Babu Baba, especially wakoye nipa oye nipa 3 na nkwala no sonson mo mame mo enye baako mostly say eja ana dehye bi wu say na nkwala no nyina mo mame ana let me put it down mo mame enye baako am edru amamre bi say ya it brings a whole lot of misunderstanding and miscommunication because bad time bia e wo de obeka che ne ba and e ba ne san so bia so pese oye bibi ai be ye soronko e be kire se e bia odo ne papa and now pese oye something peculiar to celebrate or pay the last respect to the late dad no. So some of these things are part of it, but one thing that we shouldn't also forget as Ghanaians and account for ankasa no say obi ka baby a abusuafo no mostly e wo tumi e wo funu so sin nkwala the only means you can mostly get access or a lot of information concerning a yie no ho akoni aba eno ho nkeka ho no and say you get closer to the family and try to bridge the gap or maybe create or bring this kind of consensus togetherness and understanding one way or the other any decision that they want to take you'll be informed. I remember when I lost my late dad me mama tia say and I mama tia say point blank say e wom say ye papa but papa no so wo abusua and abusua fon so na papa ne ye modehie ana omo ye modehie so if there is anything proud to ekwan e pese ye de papa fa so first of all the hu abusua panyin no ye ne tenase na yenje mo plans de mo pese mo ye na ye nkola no so de so ye pese ye de ye pay ye papa last respect no. We meet the family, we have a discussion, then the rest of the activities or the so I remember in our case abusuafo eyemaye nkwala nso so eyemaye obia play the role, but the most important thing is they were understanding like this kind of unity no among nkwala no papa na abusuafo no but obi ti say kojosafo de no ana your legend Edenam, you could see say in some from the two press releases nearby Bontini show or prove say there is a lot of inconsistencies the air course and if we are not careful the intention of we appreciating, celebrating and preaching the good things now otias or yeah no one na so it is not late yet. I think say this is early stage and whatever it is no nkwala no ehu way a mbe kata mo papa adeja so anya sa I mean, the Ebeba Bontino, and yet, I bet to say Daddy Lumbadina assistant now, I bet back and forth, and some, and Abusuan Payno assistant now, I will to me, Essen Colano. Whatever that he says, or Abusuan Becano holds. So the children should know how they will have their conversation. With regards to Abusuan Payne can say, I think say one can say omu nim bebia efunida, but the other can say nkwalani bi nim bebia efunida.
Okay.
And the reason why nkwalani bi nim bebia ebia apostle edan say the same inconsistencies no any misunderstanding here can asem no. It all generates or boss up to some of these things. So this is the time that they should let the world know, say, all these were nina. Yes, Abusuan Bia and some womb and Enuamon they have issues, misunderstanding, but this is not the right time for them to prove to the world, say, they are not one. They should show maturity and let understanding prevail. And trust me, it will go a long way to benefit themselves. Because Ebeya Nungu, as I said, with all the hard work, the investment, and the good works now, Papano, I then no a dimpanwa preaching no. I mean, he has a lot of followers.
Okay.
And the impact in there almost everywhere.
Yes.
Africa, the world, a lot of people
Big.
are benefited from. I mean, the impact. So it wouldn't be the best. I wouldn't. I mean, expect said see eto that the lumba no. The same thing should happen. So Charlie, monfani man to 2 years. Now me who the way you be some of the fans Charlie fans in Nifshi be to do to say Lumba and Kofana we have this fans has nothing, no rule at all to play in this thing. Nkofo amokasa impu ebupu has to do with the family. So Nkwalano they should set up, do the needful and due diligence to whatever that is happening. And trust me, there are a lot of things that I believe say they can preach out there than to cause a lot of harm than the good that we are expecting.
First off, let me big up the family of the late Apostle Emeritus Kujusafo Kantanka. I think say in all this my idea. The reason why I made my basso and because say I have also not noticed some 1 or 2 things in whatever is going on. But then, regardless of the differences even in opinions, I like how they've been able to keep composure even along the line for months. Because some of these things, amanphobia start here, left, right, center. But then, I want to commend them on how they've been able to handle this. And moving forward, I pray, say it will be kept because the man's legacy is at stake. Nobody can sell the man's legacy. And there, regardless of whatever anybody will do, nobody can sell the impact that the man had or is still having even on the world and not even Ghana or Africa alone. That one day, it's that nobody can touch the man's legacy. But again, we should also be able to preserve it in such a way that it will even be attractive for people that did not even know him to say, we want to even know him. Because today, when I see some of the comments coming from some followers of the people that claim they were or are lovers of Daddy Lumba, I cringe. And in that manner, I wouldn't want some of these things to happen. But all the same, we wish them well. On the 30th, 31st, and of course 8th August. These are the 3 dates that have been announced. And as such, we know that when it comes to tourism in this country, one of the branches is funeral tourism. And here, I am also looking forward to this particular event being one of the biggest events we will have in 2026 event calendar. Forget that it is a funeral. It is also an event. There is going to be a creative staff in there. There is going to be your friend said things that concerns the creative arts industry in there. So I am looking forward to this also becoming one of the biggest events that we've had or we will have on our 2026 calendar. And the fact that it is even touring is one that also gives me some level of excitement. Central region, Greater Accra region, and of course Ashanti region. This particular funeral is taking 3 different regions by storm, and I hope and pray that it comes out peacefully.